Hello, everyone, and welcome to DroneNation episode 21. We call this the Thanksgiving special here. We're a couple days away from the big holiday. Marcus and I are getting our turkeys prepared now for the oven. So, I hope, everybody's looking forward to this holiday, but we need to, of course, be a safe holiday. We're still under the COVID in much of the country. And also, we got Greg Pittman sitting in with us tonight. He's got a very special product to introduce to you in a few minutes here, all the way from the great state of Kansas. And Marcus is all the way from southern Idaho. So we're covering the country here. And I just, a little footnote I just want to throw in there. This week on Drone Therapy, that's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. The regular live show won't be on. It'll be a pre-recorded show that Bill and John and I did over the weekend. We kind of shout out some YouTube channels that we think are kind of up and coming, in different fields or whatever. Like John's doing FPV and I'm doing camera drones. So I think you want to catch the show. A couple guys here in the chat tonight are going to be featured on that show, at least from my section. So again, it's not a live show, so don't worry if you got plans the night before Thanksgiving. Don't worry, it's a recorded show. You can watch it anytime. But and also don't forget, DJI has a big Black Friday sale going on right now. If we get some time near the show, we'll talk about some of the Black Friday specials with DJI. But with no further ado, I want to introduce my co-host Marcus Crawford. And he's gonna take the lead. He's got the lead story. He's got breaking news tonight. So, Marcus, take it away, buddy.
Hey, all right. Well, okay. So, been flying some drones even in the cold. You can't let the cold. As long as it's not raining or snowing, you can fly a drone. Well, maybe if it gets too cold, it can cause some problems. I've seen a little of that. So, what have I been doing? Wow. What do you think of this, Ron?
Oh, the EX4, the latest generation.
Yeah, that's the EX4 Pro.
Now, is it up to DJI quality at this point?
Not so much.
Not exactly.
But I do have some relatively good news. It was difficult to calibrate. That's my biggest gripe, is trying to get the. In fact, I don't think I ever got a gyro calibration completed on it. And I struggled to get a compass calibration. And even at that, it would give me compass warnings. But that said, once I got up, it flew just fine. It flew okay. And this version of the EX4 had some better video quality than what I've seen on some of the. I had an earlier version of it, and then I've had the JJRC. In fact, I've still got it, the JJRC X12. And they both had a fair amount of jello in the video. This one seemed to be improved. I can say this, the control signal was good on it, so maybe they did do something with that. And the FPV was okay. So, and it worked. It flew all right. I just flew it around Heroes Park. So I'm actually working on editing that video right now and hope to have that coming out pretty quick.
Now, what's the price on that new model, Marcus?
Well, so I've seen it as cheap as $169. Now, I don't know if that deal is still going on. And I would have to say, if it does like what this one did, for somebody just starting out, it's probably worth $169. The only thing I would worry about is if you're a beginner drone flyer, you might get frustrated by trying to get the thing up in the air, struggling with the calibrations, etc. And I benefited from the fact that I had an EX4 before. I had a JJRC X12, which is a twin to that drone. So I kind of knew already some of the idiosyncrasies and was prepared for them. I think if you were a new flyer, it could probably get pretty frustrating. But that said, for $169, 3-axis gimbal, 1080p video. What actually looked pretty darn good were the photographs I took with it. They were pretty 4K photographs that looked pretty decent. Now, don't kid anybody, not DJI quality, not even close, but they were okay. And it has a couple tricks. It can do a tracking mode. Oh, the one thing that I did get done with it, guys, that was interesting is I did a waypoint mission with it, and it worked well. So
Waypoint. Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of
price
cool.
point. Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Now, but Ron, I know what you were getting at. You're waiting for the big news here, and
let me set the audience up here. A couple weeks ago, Marcus had a little faux pas with the Mini 2 out over the Snake River, and no accident or anything, but he kind of had some strange behavior, so he thought it would be better to send it into DJI and let them check it out just in case. So that's about 2 weeks ago already.
The drone best described as a death spiral. It was spiraling down into the canyon. Down she went, further and further down. And finally, the drone recovered and came home. But thank you to Lauren Donauer, and I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but he convinced me that it would be the right thing to do would be to get a hold of DJI support, send it back in, and let them check it out. And indeed, they found an issue. And the thing is, they don't go into a lot of detail, so I can't tell you exactly, what the thing was. But they said, hey, we need to replace the main board. So they did that. The turnaround was pretty quick. It's been just a little over 2 weeks since I've seen the drone, but today the Mini 2 came home. So I haven't done anything with it, and I left it intact so I could show you guys. It's got all the stickers and so forth on it, just as if it were a new drone.
Brand new.
And I believe it is, because if you look at this little QR code right there, the number above it is the serial number for the drone, and that is indeed a different serial number than the drone I sent in.
Oh, interesting.
So I believe what they did is they just sent me a new drone.
It's funny they wrapped it like the Mini 1.
Yeah. Well, that's in the Mini 2. This is the way the Mini 2 came as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I got to fly more, and it had all that stuff on it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's even got the propeller deals on there and all that. And by the way,
did it come with a little strap, Marcus?
It didn't. Of course, I kept that.
You kept your little strap, yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to mention how they suggest that you sent them in, which mine was different than what Ron's is. I sent mine in, and Lauren actually got me up to speed on this without a battery. I did leave the props on it, and I heard later some people said, well, they sent them back without the props. Well, in this case, it's got props installed on it already. So I don't know if that's true or not. But there is I heard Lauren was telling me that sometimes they'll go ahead and they'll leave a battery in the compartment. They did not, and that's the other reason that I think they just grabbed a new drone out of the bin, put it in a box, and sent it back to me, as I suspect what happened. So anyway, that's my Mini 2 story, and I'm hoping I've got in anticipation of this. Yesterday I charged up a couple batteries, so we're supposed to have a nice day tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get the little guy out and fly it tomorrow. Ron, how are you doing with your Mini 2 saga? What's going on?
All the information I have is I think I got email on Friday. They confirmed that they had received it and that they gave me a case number. And somebody from DJI even commented on my video last week, and they wanted the case number, so I gave them the case number that they can follow. So far, things are moving along. I don't really know anything yet, but they have it. They're working on it. Of course, it probably got there Friday afternoon, and they're ready for takeoff for the weekend. So hopefully they were working on it today. So I will make a video when the results come back, one way or the other, whether it was some kind of issue with the drone or whether it's a flying error, pilot error on my part. I will come back and give you the full readout of what they sent me, because again, I don't want to bash the little drone. It's a great little drone. If you're thinking about getting it, do not buy it, because mine crashed. I guess is what I'm saying.
Hey, I want to just interrupt for just a second, Ron. I saw Casey Steck in the chat here, and I noticed I wanted to call him out because the other night on Ken Herron's show on Thursday Night Live, he was the winner of an action camera gimbal. So, yeah, congratulations, Casey. That was pretty cool.
Congratulations, Casey.
Congratulations.
And Marcus, since you bring up gimbal or whatever, camera gimbal, don't you have a new little product to show us off tonight?
I can't get away with anything, can I, Ron? No, yes, I do. So I have. Let me grab I got my props on the side here. So the iSteady X, which is a small handheld gimbal. Let me open up the box here so you can maybe get a look at it. I'm going to do a review on this guy, and I'll be honest with you, the folks at iSteadyX got a hold of me, and they sent me this. So, yeah, I mean,
nice.
I've got the Osmo Mobile 4 right now, and I really like it. Had the Osmo Mobile 3 and Mobile 1 before that. So I like those smartphone gimbals. The way I look at it is they're cheap enough that even if you only use it 2 or 3 times a year, it's worth having around. And this one is interesting because it's even more compact. This thing, when it's folded up, I think you literally could put it in your front pocket. So if you're traveling someplace and you're going to want to take some videos with it, I think it'll be handy. So yeah, so I hope to get a review done on that shortly, Ron.
Good. We'll be looking forward to that one. Hey, I want to shout out Ray Kelly, who's in the chat tonight. See him make a couple comments. Ray has made the great move from Long Island down to southern Florida in the Jupiter area. It looks like he's got a nice spread on the beach there. So I want to send congratulations for a safe journey to Florida. And Ray has volunteered to come on and give us a weather report in the near future. So he will be on a future show giving us that South Florida weather report. And it looks like he's got a nice place at the beach where he can get some flights in too. So maybe he'll even have a little that Florida footage for us. So shout outs to Mr. Ray Kelly there.
It'd be great.
You want to run through the chat a little bit before we go into Greg's story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's see. I'm rolling back here. We got Sam Burns in here with us, Thomas Baker, Fly Zone Quadcopters, Johnny Drone Flyer. We got Leonard Owen here with us. Let's see. Treetop Flyer. Did I get Johnny Drone Flyer? Matt Cundiff from South Florida also. Of course, Johnny Drone Flyer from the great state of Louisiana. Leonard O from California. Sam Burns from Southern Cal. Metro. I always forget where's Metro. Where's Bill from Metro Drones from?
The Midwest.
Midwest. Yeah, thank you. Bill, put it in there. I will memorize it. We got Mid Valley Drones from the great state of Texas. Thomas Baker. I don't know where Thomas is from, but I'll learn it, Tom. We got Ray Kelly, formerly of New York, now in southern Florida. Idaho Quadcopter from southern Idaho. We got John Olson. John, I haven't figured out where you're from yet, John, but thanks for stopping by. John's a big fan. Sends me a lot of notes. Thank you, John.
Where's Hot Rod in Daytona from, Ron?
The East Coast of Florida. And help me with this one here. I don't want to pronounce the person's name wrong. IAENPHUKN Joel. I'm putting Marcus on the spot here. So
yeah, that's
welcome to the show.
Joe.
Don't know where you're from, but I'll try to learn where you're from. We got Fly Guy Morel 399.9. Welcome back. You were in here last week with us, I believe. Treetop Flyer. That's old John Drones. He's from Chicago. He flies that the Evo 2 8K version. Let's see here. Mike McReynolds. I think Mike's from the great from Indianapolis. Is the city of Indianapolis in Indiana? Is it? Or no, I'm saying it wrong. He's from Indianapolis. Not Minneapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis is Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike flies Mike's got a whole army of toy drones. He's got more toy drones than Brian Singleton. I think I've a Mercy Kisses. I can't. Mike says it real funny. I don't know where Mike's from. Hey, they talked about my shirt here. This isn't just a Patriots shirt. This is a Super Bowl Patriots shirt, and this is a Tom Brady shirt, which is why I wore it tonight, because the he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers site, and they're playing the Rams on Monday Night Football tonight. So go Tom. You know, even though. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I didn't want you to miss Parks and Tech.
Parks and Tech is here from the area.
Yep. And Al Duran is here. Duranify, Richmond, Virginia.
From Richmond, Virginia. What were you pointing out, Greg?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, you mean Kansas City Chiefs who just beat the Raiders in the last minute of the game last night?
Yeah, that's a good game. That's a real good game.
But my wife was saying, are they the best team? And I said, well, I'm sure the Pittsburgh Steelers, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, have something to say about who the best team is.
Yep, they're the best in the league right now.
The Boise State Broncos beat Hawaii, and that makes my wife happy. And so if my wife's happy, I'm happy.
There you go.
There you go.
The Boise State Broncos. Got Drone Shots Jody in here with us. Bill from Coast to Coast Drones up there in Seattle. I think I've got everybody that's currently in here. Oh, we got Jeff Martin. I think is Jeff from California? I forget where Jeff.
I'm not positive.
We got Mike Kinney from North Carolina in here with us. Lauren Donner, of course, from Calgary, Canada.
Alberta.
Intel Maxwell, multi-rotors, a long-time fan of the show. I don't know where he's from. He had a comment about the Anafi has one of the best waypoint systems out there, and he would be correct on that.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, so I did notice Al Duran in the show, and I just wanted to point out he just put up a new video where he tested the lifting strength of a number of different drones, and it was interesting to see. He put together quite a rig where it was pulling on a cable, and then he had a fishing weight, on there, and it would pull on those and or scale, I should say, and it would tell you how many pounds or kilograms it was pulling against the scale. And the interesting thing, Al, the most interesting thing about that was that all the drones seemed to be able to pull that thing up, and boy, they'd pull hard up against that cable. And then came the Xeno Pro.
Oh,
and Xeno Pro was all over the place, but it worked out, and it's if you haven't seen the video, you should check it out.
And also on that note, I believe Ken Herron must have been watching some of Al's videos. He posted a video a lot like Ken posted a video a lot like Al's, where he had the Phantom. Pardon me. Lift the I guess the Mini 2 up and fly it around and do like a video quality test. I was thinking, man, this suspiciously looks like a Al Duran type video here. So Al, congratulations. Ken must be watching your channel.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Ron,
say where they were from. I was IP Joel said they were from Kansas City, Missouri. And, of course, Mikey Blaze from the New England area, he says, go Patriots. I think Mikey's in Rhode Island. Somebody's from Rhode Island. And Casey said he's from Idaho.
He's from Kuna, Idaho, which is just south of where I'm at. I drive right through the beautiful city of Kuna on my way to the Snake River Canyon. Hey, I wanted to point out, Ron, Fly Guy Merrill is thanking you personally for your review of the landing gear for the Mavic Air 2. He said he ordered some and appreciated that.
Oh, the landing gear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, they were, they're you know, when you until you get them, like it snaps. It really feels like it's well made. It doesn't feel like a 3D printed type thing where you just snap on. These really feel like they got something to them. So I think they'll be pleased with it. They worked out well for me. Okay, folks, well, to keep the show going here, recently Marcus and our friend Lauren Donner, who's out in the chat, have done flights recently where their fingers have almost got frostbite out there flying. Marcus did a test of the Xeno 2 Pro.
Well, no, the recent one that you saw, Ron, was the FEMI X8
That's where you got the cold fingers.
Yeah, out at Lucky Peak Reservoir.
And Lauren was testing, I believe, the Mini 2 at a park where he was flying through an archway.
Right, and I'm telling you, I guarantee you, Lauren's weather was a lot colder than what I was dealing with. It was about I was in the mid 30s Fahrenheit, but it's enough that when your fingers are out there for a while, they start to ache and they start to hurt, and it's difficult to be as precise as you would.
It sure is. So, Greg was kind enough to join us on the show tonight. Let me take that and get Greg's face back up there all the way again. Greg he released a video just recently where he demoed a pair of gloves, kind of like photography gloves, where you could snap the fingers back and you could still operate your drone. I think Greg has one set, so I'm going to throw it to Greg. He's going to kind of explain the features of the gloves and how much they are, who makes them, all the details out there.
Yeah, they're from PGY Tech. They're kind of I don't know what you call the material, neoprene or something like that, but they're really warm. The fingertips come open. I don't know if I can get it there, and they snap back out of the way. And Marcus has got a pair that has magnets that holds it back, which I think is really neat. Anyway, I got these I bought mine from DJI, but they have them on Amazon for like $35. So they're really good for when you're out in the cold, fingers get cold, just pull your cap back down on your finger and you're good to go.
Can you hold them up, Greg, and maybe show us how that finger?
I'm trying to, my camera's not all that great, but.
Okay. Yeah, so you can just snap that. You just snap it back.
Yeah, I can see that thing. There it is.
Yeah,
You snap it back. And you can do 3 of them. They give you your thumb
and two
index
finger in the next one.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Clip them all back, and then if you get cold, you just cover them up, or you can even put them down like that and use a finger right to the bottom.
Oh yeah,
and keep it warm.
Yeah, which might be the hot tip, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can show.
And they feel pretty warm, Greg?
Yeah, they are. They're really warm. They make a big difference when you're out in the cold.
So this is the brand name, Energetic Sky, it's called, and I found them on Amazon. And at the time I bought them, which was just a few days ago, they were on sale for $18.99. I think they're $24.99 now. But to show how this works, you just pull that back, and it's got a little magnet, and it holds the finger. And it's just this one is just the index finger and the thumb. But thinking about it later, with these magnets, I don't know if they're strong enough that they would affect your calibration on your drone. But you probably wouldn't want to have them on while you're spinning the drone, I wouldn't think. Just because they got those little magnets in them.
Yeah, but outside that, after you get it calibrated, you can put them on, because then you'd be with your controller.
Yeah.
I like the way yours does a lot better, and it's also got that neoprene on the bottom, so you have really good grip of your controller.
Yeah, and that's it. That grippy stuff, it works really well. Yeah.
And they feel really warm too, Marcus?
Oh man, they've got thinsulate in them, and what you were talking about, Greg, that Hypora, which is it's another layer that allows, like if you sweat, it allows the moisture to. It's kind of like Gore-Tex. It's kind of like the poor man's Gore-Tex, I guess. It lets the moisture out and not in. So, yeah.
Now, Greg, I was, when you put the, link up, I went to Amazon. I was reading some of the reviews from the people got them, and a couple more than one person mentioned that they thought they fit small, that they had ordered a size large, and they both said they weren't extremely big people, but they needed to return them and get the extra large size. Did you find that they ran a little tight?
They're a little on the small side, yeah. Run tight. If you got big hands, I would definitely say extra large, because I don't have real big hands. I got large here, and I have to pull them on, but they do stretch real well. So, it just depends on how tight a fit you want.
Yeah. So keep that in mind if you're ordering. Marcus, what size did you order?
I ordered extra large. I'm just getting ready to put a link in here, Ron.
Thank you, Marcus. And if anybody's interested in Greg's PGY Tech gloves, if you go back to the beginning of the chat, my first comment in the chat, about maybe 5 comments down from the top, is a link to the gloves, and it's titled, something about gloves or whatever. That's the link to the gloves that Greg has. Marcus is going to throw his link in there now.
And there it is.
I want to welcome Sean Oz, stopped in to see us here. How you doing, Sean? Sean probably knows a lot about gloves, keeping his fingers warm in the wintertime.
I'll bet he does.
Yes, he does.
So Sean, do you have any of the ones where you can get the finger out and so forth? I bet he does. I bet he could give us some good advice.
Yeah. He's the man who knows about wintertime flying or cold weather flying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all these are good options. I mean, I'm going to order one of these. I'm going to order some set of gloves. Actually, I'm going to put them on my Christmas list. But I use a pair of old gloves where I just cut the fingers. I got a poor man's drone flying glove. Now,
there you go.
I just cut the fingers out of old gloves. But I think all these gloves are basically what we used to call in the old days photographer's gloves, which fit perfectly for drone flyers.
Hey, so Sean put his link up too.
Okay, thank you, Sean. So we, just all these gloves, just read their Amazon reviews or any reviews in general, and just see which one thinks that are the best for you.
Shoot, Sean's are Burton gloves. Those are the ones that those are snowboarder gloves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Burton's a big snowboard manufacturer. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
I have to try a pair of those.
Hey, so Ron, can you tell us a little bit? I know you flew your Mavic Air 2 on the beach the other day, and earlier today you were telling me the good luck you had with some antennas that you put on there, and then maybe expand a little bit about the landing gear that you use, and it's really relevant, I think, for Ron's situation, because often he's flying from the beach and he doesn't want to land in the sand and so forth. So it's critical for him to keep the drone up a little higher off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing the what do you call the people wear their belt and suspenders? I use the landing pad and the landing skid. Because I really want my camera and gimbal as far away from those little sand molecules as I can. Now, but I usually take the landing gear with me as a backup, because a lot of times I forget to take the landing pad. So most normal surfaces, just like grass or just regular gravel, the landing gear itself is just fine. But with the sand, I kind of like to have both. I must say I've never taken off the sand just with the landing gear, because again, sometimes you do forget that landing pad. But these landing gears very affordable. They were, I'm going to say, in the $10 to $15 range. And these are well made. And what they do is they attach to the metal portion of the bottom of the air. So you don't have to really worry about damaging, the underside where it's stamped on, because it's mostly stamped on, that the Air 2 has that metal plate across the bottom, which makes it a little more solid on the bottom than, say, the Mini 2, which of course you're paying almost twice the money. So you're getting a little bit better construction from the Air 2. Greg, do you have the Air 2?
Yes.
Yeah, and you really love the Air 2, right?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah,
That thing is like a Cadillac.
exactly. What a small size Cadillac or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Compact
The
Cadillac.
compact.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret, Ron?
What's that?
Can we just, the three of us, can we just keep it between the three of us?
You bought a Cadillac for Christmas?
Well, so no, not, but I like that Mavic Air 2 so much. This is really hard for me to admit. I sold my Mavic 2 Zoom. It's gone. It's gone.
Out of here?
Yeah, and just the Mavic Air 2.
You have to zoom in now. Oh, you could still get that Air 2 out and hit that 2x button, or put it in 1080p and hit that 4x.
Well, I can zoom with this little guy now too. Is the thing, right? This little
Now,
dude.
does that go 4x on the 1080p?
It will.
Yeah, it does.
1080p, it'll go 4x. Yeah.
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 I don't think it's as clear as the Mavic though.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg, go ahead.
Say that again, Greg.
I don't think the 4x zoom on the Mini is as clear as the 4x zoom on the Air.
Okay.
I think the Air's got a better zoom on it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's digital. So of course the Air 2 has that quad bear sensor. So it's quite a bit larger than the 1/2 that's on the on the Mini 2. But I was going to get to this end of the show, and I hadn't even talked this over the market yet. But I'm thinking about maybe we should do a Drone of the Year show, where we can get everybody to kind of like vote for their drone of the year, and maybe on the last show of the year, maybe we can do give a prize out. This is the drone of the year, and I know that the Mavic Air 2 is going to be way up on my list, on top of my list, near the drone of the year. And everybody think about it out in the chat. Maybe I know not everybody's on Facebook. I could do a voting on Facebook, but also maybe you could just vote somehow on the thing and I'll write them down or whatever. But we're going to get a Drone of the Year award out. And, and maybe the only connection would be the drone had to come out this year or whatever. I don't think I want people picking the Phantom 3 Standard from 4 years ago, but otherwise, I guess anything goes. And we can we're mostly counter drone guys, but if you want to put a counter drone and an FPV drone in there, and we'll have a second thing for FPV drone too, something along that lines. I'm just kind of fleshing this all out right now. But don't you think that'd be kind of fun having a Drone of the Year award?
I think what we should do is flesh that idea out, Ron. I've got some ideas there that we could maybe assemble a panel of
drone experts
that might be able to kick in on that. And there's of course, all of us are just really loving that Mavic Air 2.
There's a lot of good candidates out there this year.
There are. For instance, your Autel Evo Pro is a phenomenal piece of technology.
Yeah, it is.
Let's not forget the Skydio 2, which has some tech in there that is unequaled by any other drone so far. Some of the tech. So yeah, there's a lot of things to consider. And I would even include this little guy in it, the Mini 2,
right?
Because of the advantages that it brings with regard to portability and that all important under 249 grams that may become even more relevant when we find out what the remote ID final rule is going to be.
Good. So everybody out there, keep in mind we're going to have a Drone of the Year contest, and we're going to try to figure out how we're going to vote, because we want kind of everybody to vote. But with no further ado, we're going to bring the East Texas top drone flyer on here. He's in the green room now. He's probably eating the shrimp and have a few cocktails back there. But we're gonna bring him onto the stage right now. Chris Hope, how are you tonight? Oh yeah, clean that beard off. You don't want the shrimp hanging off there.
I don't want that. I've got the cocktail sauce off there, Ron.
How are you tonight, sir?
Well, I'm full. I appreciate it, buddy.
You leave any for us?
I'm sorry, Greg. You're just SOL, buddy.
Poor Johnny Drumflyer, he can never find his shrimp back there in the green room, But I knew you would, Chris.
Man, that shrimp's handy. Little big butterflies. They already laid open. They just peeled, veined. All you gotta do is eat them. No tail.
Well, I keep hearing that Ron's wife Susan makes some pretty mean guacamole too. That's in the green room there.
Well, it blends in with the green, so you can't find it.
Yeah.
Good one, Chris. You're wearing your Dallas hat tonight. You coasted to a nice come from behind victory yesterday, Chris.
That was a fun game to watch. They actually played football for 4 quarters.
Right. And all the credit goes to you, Chris. I know that you looked real good from the couch in the living room, right?
I looked at it from the big chair. I promise you.
Chris calls all the plays from the big chair.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's fun, and Romo was a great quarterback for us. But when they're playing on Channel 11, I'm sitting there calling the game with him on CBS. It's fun to watch. But yeah, I called. I told him what to do.
Yeah,
I called the play when he rolled that quarterback up and took the ball out of his hand. I called it.
Called it.
I called that. Hey, that's a takeaway right there.
Now, how did the Red Rocket from TCU do for us yesterday?
Oh, Andy did good. He didn't get the COVID, and he didn't get a concussion this week.
He had a real good week.
He was all right.
And he won the first game for the Cowboys in over a month or whatever. But we better move on here, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to get all the non-Cowboy fans mad at us, Chris.
Yeah, well, I got Michael right on my side. We're good.
And we're waiting for Thanksgiving Day for those Redskins.
Oh, yeah, Washington.
Oh, the Washington football team. We got to be politically correct these days.
That's
Chris.
hard. That's hard not to say, isn't it?
I know. I'll be saying that. I'll be on my deathbed saying, "How the Redskins doing?"
Yeah. I see you got your Patriots shirt on too. So
it's
time to move on.
At least Greg's Chiefs got to keep their name. Okay, now, Chris, we've upset everybody. Now we've upset the non-football, and non-Cowboy fans. We've upset the Indians. So we better move on here. So
you got the Tom Brady wannabe shirt on. So
well, guess what? It says Brady on the back. This is a Brady Super Bowl shirt.
Yeah, that's the one they lost in Houston, wasn't it? So you got it. They've been looking for that thing.
I probably got it for 99 cents when they lost the game. But they're playing tonight. They're on against the Rams on Monday Night Football. And last time I looked, they were losing. So but this is my kind of only football shirt. So I thought, well, I knew Tom Brady's playing. So
right.
Yeah, we've all seen Tom Brady play, right?
Oh yeah, for like an eternity.
I know. I was a young man when Tom Brady broke in the league.
Never mind. I won't even go there.
you were still
if you were a young man, I wouldn't even thought in my daddy's eyes yet.
Sorry, folks, we got so late with drugs. We're going to get back to the tracks here. One of the reasons
it's okay to deviate a little bit, Ron.
But one of the reasons we brought Chris on today, besides talking about the Cowboys' great victory, was a lot of us out there, we all have videos where we orbit water towers, but all our water towers are usually modern. Somehow Chris got in the Wayback Machine, went back to the 1950s, and found an antique water tower in the circle. And it was an impressive orbit. I'm thinking, he must have did this with like a pro level drone or something like that. And then he tells me it's the Mavic Mini, not even the Mini 2, it's the Mini 1.
Yeah, it's the original.
So, folks, we're going to roll this video now. Do you have it queued up, Chris, by any chance?
I do. You share the screen. Is that what I push?
What does he do, Marcus? Yeah, hit that.
Yeah. You just click share screen at the bottom there. And
find the tap thing, and then I have to hit a button here. When I see it pop up, then I'll hit the share, and it'll play on the big screen.
Boy, you look like you're concentrating really hard there, Chris.
Everybody called the plays yesterday.
Here we go. Can you see it?
It's got to pop up here in this little. Did you hit the share button and then click the tab?
I did.
Huh. I have it queued up too here, but I'm so afraid of getting in trouble for playing somebody's video. But I mean, you're sitting on the show here.
You can play it. It's the music is probably going to get you because I got epidemic
I
sound.
can turn the sound down.
Mute the sound.
Yeah,
I can do that. Your entire screen. Cancel. Let's do this again. We're going to share the screen. Share the screen.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties here. We'll get it worked out.
It's just not used to it.
Oh, you got it. Hold on.
And make it big. And
You got it muted. Okay.
I got it muted. So there you go.
Here we go. Now you describe it since there's no music. You tell us where this is.
This is Malakoff, Texas, and you can actually see the lake to the right of that other water tower.
When you do your sunrise videos,
That's where I go do my sunrises. And I was coming home from doing a sunrise, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I just pulled in the church parking lot and got the Mini out. I didn't even get out of the truck. I just set in the pickup, hand launched it, and hand caught it, and did the orbit and everything from the vehicle. And everybody's so happy with their Mini 2 that I thought, well, I hadn't flown a Mini in about 2 months, so I got it out and just wanted to fool around for a minute. And the video turned out better than I thought it would.
It's damn nice. And you made a really great point there, Chris, that I think deserves to be made again. And that's, that Mini 1 is still just an awesome little drone. So if somebody is hesitating about buying a drone and they don't quite have enough money for the Mini 2 or whatever, hey, that Mini 1 is awesome. It's a great little product. So it is very capable.
And I think they're on sale, Marcus.
They are.
What is the DJI sale price on that?
$349, and you can make something about not having OcuSync 2, but that Mini 1 has the best Wi-Fi you're ever going to see. I've actually, I'm not suggesting everybody do that, but I flew mine out 3 kilometers one time. It'll do it.
I've had mine out over a mile, but that's the thing about the Wi-Fi is I live out in the country, so I don't have to deal with it. The city guys that lives around a populated area, I can see the struggle. I really can.
Yeah, don't take it up to Philly and visit Mikey with it. You won't be able to fly down the end of the street.
No, I agree, but
you make a good point. I kind of live in rural too, and I have no problem flying it.
I haven't had any trouble with the Mini, but I can feel y'all, the people that's populated areas. I can feel the pain.
Well, I'm in the city, and it's a lot better than anything else I've flown Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the king of Wi-Fi drones.
Yeah.
And actually, I filmed that all in 2.7K, and YouTube. Either I didn't do it right or it never did upload in 2.7. It just uploaded in 1080.
Oh, that looked really good.
Yeah, I was happy with it. I mean, It's just something, that's an old water tower, like Ron said. They probably hauled them plates up there with a couple of ropes and riveted them together.
I mean, it looks like a water tower from an old movie. It looks like some old 50s movie.
There's no telling how old it is. And
with the hat on the top of it and everything. Yeah.
They still use it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Really neat.
You're giving me ideas. We've got one here in Meridian that's been around, because Meridian, it's a big city now of about 90,000 people, but just probably 20 years ago, it was a town of about 10,000 people, and they still have. They call it. It's shaped like an onion. They call it the onion. It's one of those water towers that goes straight up and then looks like an onion at the top.
Right. Yeah, those are cool too.
Yeah.
I need to go down to my old high school and do another video on my old rock water tower that was built back when the Work Programs of America was going on. And they don't use it anymore, but it's an icon around here. There's not another one around that I've ever seen.
So when you say rock, you mean it was actually made out of rock?
Iron ore rock.
Wow.
And grout in between each rock.
Yeah. Now, like you, Chris, I grew up on a farm, and of course we had This, of course, we're getting a little off track here, but we had well water that was really high in iron content. So we would go to the next small town, which was Tule Lake, and they had a big water tower, and we'd go to the base of the water tower. We'd take a big 10-gallon can with us. We'd fill that. Well, maybe it was only a 5-gallon. Hey, it was a big can. I remember it was, as a little guy, it was hard to lift. And you'd fill it up with water, and that was the drinking water in the house. Now you'd use everything else for taking a shower or whatever, but if you wanted to drink water, the well water was so full of iron it just didn't taste right. So we got it out of that big jug. But yeah, at least a couple times a week we were making a trip to the water tower to get some fresh water out of it.
Yeah. Fortunate enough, I didn't have to tote water, Marcus. I'm
a little older. I don't.
We had indoor plumbing where I grew up.
Yeah. We barely had it. I tell you what we did have. We had an attic fan, if you remember those, and a water cooler. Some people call them swamp cooler. Swamp
coolers.
Yeah.
And that's how we would stay cool at night in the summertime.
Yeah. So we're off the drones again, but
everything molded. So.
Oh yeah, because of the water. Yeah.
But I want to say about the Mini, everything we complained about with the Mini, they put in the Mini 2. It looks like to me.
Listen to our shows.
Yes. Yeah. So for the guys that got the Mini 2, you got what the Mini 1 guys was wanting. We wanted 4K. We wanted OcuSync. The little light is a bonus at the front.
Hey, Chris, did you hear the rumor Billy Talent broke a week or so ago on Twitter? He said that little light on front, it was originally optical avoidance sensor, but the last minute they ditched it and just put the light in there because they already cut the body that had that next year we'll probably have front facing optical avoidance.
Hey man, possible. Good for them.
I think one of the advantages of this guy is that it doesn't have that obstacle avoidance and it's small enough and it's precise enough that I am probably more comfortable flying this drone in tight spots than anything else. Sean Oz is checking out. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Sean.
Nice, Sean.
You got to work on his edit.
I watched a video today Ken Herron did. He compared the Mavic Mini camera with the Phantom 4. It made a comment about it flies like the Phantom 4. The Mini flies like the Phantom 4, and I agree with him till I look at it. When I'm bringing it back to land, I said, "Man, this thing is little."
Yeah,
but it does. It flies. The Minis. I can't vouch for the 2, but the original, if you get it out there, 200-300 feet where you're paying attention to flying it, it flies like the big one.
And this is the same, Chris. Exactly the same. The other point that I wanted to make is going through this experience, sending it back to DJI support. I gotta hand it to DJI. Their customer service is just amazing. They're in touch with you the whole time. I was just in their turnaround time. I got this thing back in less than 2 weeks, and it would have been even faster than that, but it got stuck in UPS's system for a couple of days. Right. So I mean that is not DJI's fault, but their turnaround and their communication is really awesome. Their system, they've got it down, and I'm trying to think of what other drone. I mean, if you bought a Femi or a Hubsan or something like that, trust me, that experience is not like that. You're lucky to get something repaired. In fact, Femi, they'll ask you to send it back to China and try that. Bill, the drone reviewer, had to do that.
I know DJI got beat up enough. They ought to know how to fix it. I mean, they literally got beat up.
Yeah.
Hey, back to the Mini 1 real quick, and this is kind of for you, Chris. I just the other day I saw the Litchi. Litchi's a third-party app. I don't know if you've heard of it. You can fly a lot of DJI drones. A lot of guys used to fly their Phantom 3 on the Litchi. Well, they just officially started supporting the Mini 1 as of like just a few days ago, maybe Friday. and they've added a few features to the Mini One that did not have before. But here's one you may be interested. Now you can live stream with it. That's the good news. And I tried and it worked, but you can only live stream to Facebook, not the YouTube.
Not YouTube.
But it's in the app, and it worked. I tried it. I mean, I just streamed from the desk here in the office, but it streamed real good to Facebook. So I don't know if they'll ever add YouTube or not, but you can stream live with the Mini One on Facebook through the Litchi app, and I believe the Litchi app is around $20 to buy. You have to pay for it. It's not a free app.
I've never flown with a third party app, so. But I have seen it, and it looks interesting as all get out to me, but I've just never done it.
And they have a thing at the top. It doesn't support waypoints now, but it's coming soon. So it will have waypoints. We'll have live streaming. It already has the bracket of photos people want, where it takes 3 photos. It'll do pano photos. It has a lot of stuff that people wanted, through the app. So that shows that the drone was capable of it, but just for some reason the DJI held it back.
Yeah, they held it back to get to the Mini 2. So
Yeah.
it's all a marketing deal, I'm sure. And they wanted people, okay, well, this is what the guys wanted with the 1. Let's give it to them in the 2. They had it was a year, nearly a year to the day when they released the 2.
Hey, Marcus, on the battery issue that we talked about the other week, what was it, last week?
Yeah.
I talked to DJI about that, and they said that the Mini 2 will read the battery of the Mini 1, and they said it won't void the warranty or anything.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Greg, because I did the same thing. I got a hold of them on DJI support, and they said exactly the same thing. So that's kind of cool to know. They did give a little warning, Greg.
They didn't give me any warning.
Oh, they didn't. What they told me was be careful because you will have less power with the Mini 1 batteries and the Mini 2. So what I assume they mean by that is you're probably not going to get the same speed, I suppose, and maybe
same punch
flight time. But then also they said be aware that Mini 1 battery is heavier, and it's going to put you over the 249 grams. But I put my number on my Mini anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things I still like about the Mini 1 batteries, I like those batteries that the lithium. What is it the Mini 1 has, Marcus?
Lithium ion.
Lithium ion as opposed to
that don't discharge themselves after just a couple of days.
You charge it up a month later, still be charged.
You can leave them charged, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it takes forever to charge them unless you got extra different battery charge. It'll take all day to charge 3 batteries in the holder that comes with it. I'm not sure about the Mini 2, but you can expect 6 to 8 hours to charge up 3 batteries on the Mini 1.
Is it that long?
I didn't think it took that long.
It did. I charged mine last week or 2 weeks ago before I flew the water tire, and it took all day. I just plugged it in my office, and when I got ready to go home, it was done. So
I gotta admit, I don't ever go below 20% on my batteries. I try to keep them. I try to cut it off about 30%.
Yeah.
That way, it don't take so long to charge back up.
Greg, I want to tell you before I forget, I like Airwolf behind you there, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's just a model now.
Hey, that's a great show when I was a kid growing up.
Oh yeah, that was a cool show.
And Greg was in the RC helicopters before he got into drones.
Yeah.
So he's been expensive his whole career.
Yes, I have. At least I'm fortunate enough to have a wife that don't gripe at me about it.
Roger that.
Isn't that the truth? My wife, if it makes me happy, it makes her happy. Yeah, and that's how it should be. And
as I always say, though, Marcus, if you played golf rather than fly drones, you wouldn't have any more money in your pocket.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, if you look at Greenfield, holy cow, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, golf. I was playing golf since the mid-90s, nearly every weekend, and
wasn't cheap.
20. Well, you know, where I played it was $25 every Saturday or Sunday we'd play. Now then, the skins game and the low score got a little pricey.
Yeah.
But sometimes it pays for itself. It's always fun. But drones are fun too. As a matter of fact, I would carry my drone to the golf course. And I even made a video. Our golf course is closed now, so I made a video about 6 months ago of our old golf course.
That's because they were only charging $25, Chris.
Man, it was sad too, because it's the community I play golf with is kind of like this one, except I get to see them once a week. We're all good friends.
Right.
Play golf and tell lies and try to hit each other.
Hey, real quick, Michael writes in chat here. He's picking up for the Cowboys. And
He's better. I know
was for Tom Landry a little while back too. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, Tom.
Hey, let's open up a can of worms here before we end. I'm gonna open up 2 can of worms for us here. First of all, I just learned today through a post, I think it was on Engadget, that YouTube is going to start putting ads in small channels videos that aren't monetized yet, and you'll have no say over it. You won't reap any financial rewards from it. So nothing good in that article. Anybody have any comments or thoughts on that?
Well, listen, I would say the service that YouTube provides, I would say it's their prerogative. Now, I understand why, you wouldn't be happy about it, but there is some expense to all those servers and they're a company. That's what they do. Now, I'm not happy about it, but on the other hand, I would sure defend their right to do it all day long. The other thing that I have done to avoid that, and I know some people really object to this, but I am springing for that $12 a month for YouTube Premium. And you know what? You don't see any ads ever then. No ads. And yeah, okay, that's, what, 130 some bucks a year. Okay, or yeah, 140 some bucks a year, but 140
kind of like when I got HBO
a year. I can do math.
Kind of like HBO when I got HBO in 1980, no commercials.
And that's the thing. So then you never see commercials on any YouTube video you ever watch. Now I get why some people don't want to do. Totally understand.
I just wonder how it's going to affect us with the drones that's doing this as a hobby, because couldn't the FAA come in and say, well, that's in furtherance of a business?
I think if you're not getting any income from it, Greg, I doubt it. And let me tell you, the FAA has got much better things to worry about, I believe. I believe than trying to look to see whose drone video has an ad on it.
Yeah, and I'm Marcus. I don't pay a dime to YouTube, not a penny. Okay, now there's others I pay money to, but if YouTube wants to do that, that's their prerogative, because I don't pay for it. I just hope that my video's running along there and I don't see a yellow dot in the middle of it, because that means there's probably a commercial coming up, and I want my little 2-minute, 4-minute videos to play through. Put it at the end, put it at the beginning. That's fine.
Right.
That's a good point, Chris. Now, that is an excellent point, and I can see how that would be a problem for people.
Because if you make a cinematic video, which I like to do that from time to time, I don't want it interrupted. I want it to play
right,
because it takes away from it.
Right, it'll ruin the flow of it, and it just won't be the same experience. Yeah.
If Ron's out on the beach telling a story about the Mavic Air 2 and he's walking down the beach flying, he don't want to be interrupted.
Yeah, especially if the girl walks by in a bikini, right? And that's the part that gets interrupted, right?
Yeah. Now, if you're drawing a big paycheck like a Casey or some of these other guys, an interruption, I can see that. I watch a lot of Ken Herron videos, and I don't see any interruptions in his videos. So I don't know how that's not happening.
You're right. I watched the one where you talked about with the Phantom and the Mavic, the Mini 1 or the Mini, whatever Mini it was. And you're right. I don't remember an ad.
I see ads, but it's never. I don't know if I don't know. I wondered how he's not doing it, because a bunch of these other ones will have interruptions in their videos, especially for long ones.
Poor Marcus, I've watched some of your videos. It only rolls for 2 minutes and I get a commercial.
Some of mine, I know I've gotten complaints from people that watch it, that they say, oh, too many commercials. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not saying too many commercials, but shoot, at least give me 5 minutes or something before.
Yeah.
Like you barely get through your promo, and you barely even start your stick, and the commercial comes in or whatever.
Yeah, they're not even good commercials. It's about Geritol and erectile dysfunction and stuff like that. I don't understand it.
Tampons.
Here we go again. We're getting demonetized here.
When I didn't say it, when I say it wrong.
At least during my drone videos, at least let the drone be like a DJI commercial, right?
There you go. Yeah.
At least let a drone fly through as a commercial or something.
We said DJI enough. All 4 of us in the chat ought to have a drone in the mailbox in the morning.
That's exactly right.
DJI.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike B said, you see that yellow dot anywhere in the video, just fast forward the video to the end and then restart it and the ads go away. Okay. Thanks, Mike. I will definitely try that, buddy.
That is good to know.
Good tip.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Again, the community come through for us.
Yeah.
Michael Saab, the issue's over with no more complaints. So let's move on to another issue maybe we can solve here. I'm going to let Marcus take this one. He's got a report in from watching was it XJet's live stream or?
Yeah, so no, XJet posted a video, and I see Bill at Coast to Coast Drones also reposted it recently, where he is following an FAA program, and the gentleman's name, the FAA administrator, a gentleman by the name of Steve Dixon, is talking to a bunch of kids that are an RC model, primarily drone club. And, they're asking, he's trying to explain to them rules about drones. Well, I got to tell you, this FAA administrator, he just didn't seem like the sharpest pencil in the pack to me. I'm just being honest with you. You watch the thing and you just look at this guy. It just was pretty clear he didn't get what was going on. He was talking to these kids about astronauts and about a million other things.
SpaceX.
And you could tell the kids were losing interest. They were all over the place. But finally, he did talk a little bit about drones. And the point that XJet was making and that Bill Thomas was making is that maybe he released some information about the remote ID rule early. Basically, he said at one point that if you are an FPV pilot and you're flying, low to the ground below, 100 feet or whatever, you got nothing to worry about. There's not going to be anything that's going to stop that from happening. And then when they were talking about other GPS drones, camera drones, he's saying, if it's under 300 feet, I don't think there's going to be any there's not going to be any remote ID. Now, does the guy really know? I mean, he's the FAA administrator, so maybe he should know something, but he didn't inspire me with confidence. So we'll see what that rule is, but cross your fingers. Would that be cool? I'll take 300 feet. 300 feet's fine.
300 feet's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see.
299, 11 3/4, man. That's perfect.
Yep.
So you could just go and lock your setting. You could lock your height in at that and not even worry about ever going over it.
Just like it is right now. 400's locked in.
Yeah, that's what I do too. The same thing, Chris. I lock it in at 400. I never, have to worry about going over. Yeah.
I started flying the FPV, so I'm assuming the bird I fly now is over 249. So it probably needs to be registered with the FAA. But I hope and pray to God it never goes 400 foot, because if it goes 400 foot, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, so here you just brought up a good point, Chris. Why should anybody have to put a number on an FPV drone? Why should an FPV drone have to be registered? I mean, it makes no sense to me. It's almost beyond. So hopefully they can use some common sense and look at that. So we'll see how it all comes down. And if they'll let us go 300 feet with our GPS camera drones,
Yeah,
Without remote ID, I'm all
great.
in.
I
Let's
know.
hope they give us
I'll be
BBL.
happy.
Yeah, FPV. I do notice. I watch a lot of. There's a lot of guys doing FPV with less 249 or less now drones. There's smaller 2-inch, 3-inch drones, FPV cinematic stuff. They're getting them. They're getting the weight down.
Right.
So they're going to bypass it.
Yeah, and things get miniaturized all the time, so you'll be able to get better cameras on those smaller drones, no doubt about it. So, the 249 gram thing could still play into it, and so I mean, we're just not going to know until December. And Jet Martin just said in the chat that likely that guy does.
I got it here.
He's the head of the FAA. I mean, I don't know, but you got to watch. I would recommend that you watch the video. In fact, here, let me I'll put a link in the chat here.
So what you're just trying to say, there's hope yet, Marcus. There's hope.
Well, I do think that don't panic until we see the rule, right? I mean,
what Marcus is referring to, so many people in the community, and they may be right, but so many people in the community fear that nobody's going to be able to fly without jumping through a million hoops in the near future. And that's the fear, and how many hoops are you willing to jump through before you can fly? Especially if you're flying like an FPV drone or something like that. Can you imagine having to have, all the, remote ID and all that stuff on a little FPV, especially if it's like a little loop?
Yeah, exactly. You're never above the top level or not very far above it, right, Chris? I mean, with a FPV drone or maybe those guys that go up buildings and stuff like that. I know.
Oh, now that's cool to do, Marcus. They call it. I'm not an expert at it. I've done it a few times. It's called diving. They'll scale the building like Batman, and then they'll turn around and nose it right back down.
Yeah, and you're within X amount of feet of the building, so you can. It's legal. Yeah.
If you got your 107, it is.
Yeah.
It's all about the mighty dollar sometimes.
Yeah.
And something else I just remembered. I got to do this, but for a lot of us, our registration runs out the end of December, so we got to go. And
I got my notice already, and just went online and paid them $5 more.
Yeah, I got to do that myself.
Print your little certificate out right from the computer.
Did your number stay the same, Ron?
Yes.
You know what? I didn't even look at it that close, but
mine stayed the
same.
Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you being on top of your game, everybody.
What did Marcus say?
He said yes, Ron. It stayed the same.
Oh, stayed the same. Okay, good.
Pay attention to it next time.
That makes a lot of sense, because if it did stay the same, all my drones got the wrong number on them.
Yeah.
Who's gonna know, Ron? What was the last?
Actually, that'd be a good thing.
How many times you been pulled over for flying your drone?
Number, they wouldn't know it was me.
Yeah, I was just going to say what Chris said. How many times did that FAA cop on the beach, come down and pull you up? Ron, we saw you. Where's that sticker?
I have more trouble with people selling dope at the boat ramp than I do with the cops coming by and asking me about what I'm doing.
There you go.
Exactly. Most time down at the beach, if the cops see me flying a drone, they usually wave at me. They give me the wave, almost the thumbs up, So
yeah.
Old guy flying the drone on I'm the only one on the beach. I'm the least of their problems.
In all honesty, and it's my opinion, and my opinion only, I think we're okay.
I agree, Chris.
I honestly think we'll be all right, because they can't police it. There's no way they can police it, and 99% of us in this community are great flyers. Sometimes there's the different one that'll go out and test it just to see the reaction. And
well, like the idiot that flew in LA the other day, that flew his drone.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
But the thing is, has anybody ever been injured with flying one of these quadcopters into an aircraft? Has it ever caused such a problem? Even that police helicopter, all it did was, if you saw the picture, it put a tiny little scratch in the paint in the front of that thing. So they did have to do an emergency landing, which
Well, they should
have done because you don't know what the damage could be. And let's say that they were on a critical mission. If that had to take that police helicopter off that mission, that's bad. That's really
that's the California fires.
Right.
Hey, let's go check this out. Well, no, let's just don't. If they want you, hey man, I got a drone. Would you like some guidance? You ask them. Don't just go. Just ask first.
Well, for instance, to your point, Chris, another point is in when they had the California wildfires, they were actively engaging drone flyers to do some surveys after the fire was over.
Sure.
Drones for good.
It's a good thing. I go back, Marcus, 2 or 3 years ago, that guy in New York that was flying his Phantom, and he hit the Black Hawk.
Right.
He hit the side of it.
Hit the rotor.
Yeah, that's right. It hit the rotor and threw some of the junk into the side of the helicopter because it stuck in between the crevices.
Right. Yeah, and the way they identified him is evidently they found a piece of one of the motors that had a serial number on it, and and DJI helped him trace it back to the guy that bought the drone. Yeah.
There's too much DNA evidence nowadays, Marcus.
Yeah, but the point of it is, you wish people would be smarter.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. It is what it is. But I think in the long run we'll probably be all right. There'll be some. We've dealt with the restrictions that's been put upon us so far. I'm still getting to fly and make my little videos. I'm not in it now. For the guys that want to make a living at it, now I can feel their pain. But for me, I'm a hobbyist. I'm cool.
Yep.
I'm cool with
it. Jet Mark makes a comment in the chat that many of us, including Marcus, really worried about at the beginning. And he says, he mentions to Chris Hope, with remote ID, the Karens will be able to locate your exact location and call the police. And what he's referring to here is with remote ID, you'll probably use an app such as, name me some of the popular apps.
Well, Kitty Hawk or something like that. But
we'll just say Kitty Hawk to do the remote ID stuff. But here's my question: if I have to pay, I'm making a number up here, $5 or $10 a month to Kitty Hawk to have the remote ID, to be able to use the remote ID, why is, as he says, the Karens? Why is on the other end? Won't Karen have to pay that $5 or $10 at her end to see where I'm at? And most of the Karens won't pay that $5 or $10 to Kitty Hawk a month to know where the drone is. So I'm just saying, why would it be free for
them and not for us? Yeah.
What service do you know that only charges the user on one end?
That's a great point, Ron. And the concern would be that, listen, if somebody can identify exactly where the pilot is, they see a drone and where's that pilot at, how much gear do you carry around with you? I mean, I'm telling you, I often have a fair amount of gear with me when I'm out there flying, and it could make you a target for somebody that has nefarious intent.
Right, and I mean, I can see a nefarious person. I mean, I don't know, but your kind of random thief isn't paying $10 a month to what's the app you just said?
Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk, to know where drone pilots are.
Yeah, I mean that's So who knows? But the other question is: so if remote ID is required, are you going to have to pay that fee per drone, or do you pay it once for all your drones? I mean, there's just a lot of open questions. And if is remote ID? Hopefully, remote ID would only be required maybe if you're flying above 300 feet or whatever, and then you could make that choice whether you wanted to do it or not. But we don't know yet, right? We just don't know. So, yeah.
Hey, real quick, I saw them chatting that Sergio and Fly Zone quadcopters are doing live streaming, I believe, on Friday nights now, and Johnny Drone Flyer has been helping them out. And I think they had Al Duran as their guest last week. So everybody, I don't know where to tell you to go, but you know, if you're interested, go check you know, their live streams out on Friday night. I don't know exactly what time. They're based in Chicago.
Fly Zone Drones, can you put a link to your channel in the chat here, and that would be helpful.
Good night, Michael.
Well, Jim Martin says remote ID you will not be able to take off unless you are not current on your monthly subscription fees.
Yeah. So whoever I'm trying to remember what the acronym that they call you pay the subscription fee to, but
it's called PayPal.
Yeah. But you know, who knows? The thing is, we need to see what the rule is before we panic. That's
yeah.
Yeah, we'll panic. We'll panic January 1st when the new. Okay, guys, here it is.
Here it is. Yeah.
Then there'll be. It's good for the YouTube and you guys, because then we can sit around and talk about it for an hour and a half or so.
Yeah, a lot of good
try to understand it.
Angry people out there, but yes, we all know. You know, I mean, I'm not criticizing government in general, but government moves extremely slow in getting things done. And this isn't political; it doesn't matter what party it is. Governments move slow. Why would they move faster in this than they will in anything else?
Hell, they can't even get the damn budget done for
right.
relief.
Right. They never get anything done, Tommy. Why is all of a sudden the FFA going to be this efficient government body that works better than anything else around?
Yeah, the FAA. So I mean, who knows? Well, I think Chris probably touched on it, and it's kind of about money, probably more than anything else. But we you know, there again, I just think we got to wait and see the rule in December. And Jet's saying it'll drop in December, and it will. And then we'll know, and we can move forward. Now, I don't know about you guys. If it was particularly oppressive, you know, if there were a bunch of fees and there were a bunch of hoops that you had to jump through, and under 249 was exempt, I got to tell you, this is probably what I'd be flying from then on. I mean, it just depends, right, on what it was. If it was something that, yeah, you maybe got to jump through a little hoop. You know, okay, I'm okay with that. If it helps make the skies safer and it's not too big of a deal, of course, most reasonable people are going to be fine with that. So yeah, let's just see what happens.
Hey, Eric Rose brings up Eric Rose from Bahamas. Thanks for joining us. He asked the Fly Zone, did you ever hear back from the Fun Snap Diva drone yet? The Fun Snap Diva drone is kind of a Kickstarter project. It looks like kind of a, you know, under $500 kind of advanced drone with 4K and you know, gimbal and a lot of good features.
That was a Xiaomi too, just like Femi. It was in the Xiaomi universe, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know either.
So, okay, folks, we're heading about to 10:30 here. Last update I have is the Patriots and Rams are 17 all. I mean, Patriots, the Buccaneers and the Rams were tied up 17 all in the third quarter. But does anybody have any you know, thing that they want to discuss before we get off this panel, or you know, anybody want to reveal what size turkey they're going to be cooking on Thursday for the big Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, I'll tell you what Sarah and I are doing. You ever watch that TV show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives?
Favorite of my wife's.
Yeah, there's a local place. It's called West Side Drive-In that was part of that show.
Oh,
and
yeah?
they'll fix a whole Thanksgiving dinner for you, prepare it, and you just go pick it up the day before. So that's what we did. We're going to go to West Side Drive-In, pick up our whole Thanksgiving dinner, bring it home, heat it up on Thanksgiving Day, and we're good to go.
The kitchen won't feel like it's you know, summertime in there all day. Huh?
There you go. How about you, Greg?
Nope, we're going to cook a turkey here, and well, she is. You wouldn't want to eat my turkey if I cooked a turkey.
I bet I know Chris. Chris is going to deep fry one. I'll bet.
You know, I usually do. I usually deep fry 4 or 5 of them. But this year no. My sister's bought a turkey breast from the FFA bunch, and that's what we're having: a ham and cornbread salad, dressing, and sweet taters, and all kinds of stuff
Can't forget the sweet potatoes,
with marshmallows on top.
marshmallows.
Mr. Brown, I think it's up to you.
Oh yeah, just a small gathering. Just a small turkey, like all the usual stuff. Nothing big this year because we're all trying to keep the gatherings very small. For the COVID season. If you read all the reports that we're on a lot of the countries on high alert again. Cases are popping up. So, but the good news is I finally got good news on the COVID that 2 big drug companies have a vaccine kind of ready to go in the near future. So hopefully by next Thanksgiving or whatever, we don't even the COVID's long, in our rear view mirrors.
We'll be partying like
Hopefully.
rock stars.
Yeah, be nice.
Drone star.
Drone stars. Okay.
If we're still flying, if we can still fly.
If we can.
We'll fly.
Yeah,
We'll fly.
don't be a nattering nabob of negativism.
I had to end on negative, but seriously, everybody out there, have a great Thanksgiving. Wherever you are, the whole country. We're sending out all the love from DroneNation here, and I want to thank this great panel we've had on tonight. Chris, it's always great having you on. Greg, you always come on with some of the best information. Always a welcome member in the panel. So enjoy the holidays. We'll be back next Monday, hopefully with some, more good news. And, good night, folks. And everybody, and thanks, Michael Wright, for defending the Cowboys in the chat. And Greg, do your best. Chris, do your best coaching job on Thursday from the sofa. Eat early.
Oh yeah.
My arms are getting tired, Ron.
We'll see Bill tomorrow night.
Good night.
Take care.